An Old Spice triple protection sweat defense. Put it on.
Take a piece of chocolate if you're the tallest. Take a piece of chocolate if you're better at eating your vegetables.
The 1989 NFL Draft is known for one of the greatest classes right at the top of the draft, as 4 of the first 5 picks would go on to become NFL Hall of Famers: Troy Aikman, Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, and Deion Sanders. It's crazy because basically, if you were picking in the top 5, you was getting a future Hall of Famer and a guy that would be a staple of your franchise for years and years to come. But there is one noticeable aberration: the number 2 pick. See, while the Cowboys, the Lions, the Chiefs, and the Falcons all got future Hall of Famers, the Green Bay Packers at number 2 selected Tony Mandarich, an offensive tackle from Michigan State. But not just any offensive tackle. We're talking the greatest offensive line prospect ever. That was the title he started out with, but now he's known as one of the biggest NFL draft busts ever. And it's not only because he was drafted with the number 2 pick in the draft, but because he's literally surrounded by Hall of Fame players. Everybody that got selected around him went to the Hall of Fame. Like, what are the odds? This is the story of how one man completely duped the Green Bay Packers into selecting him over the bevy of Hall of Fame players they had right at their fingertips. Once you actually hear the story, you're not gonna blame the Packers, man. It wasn't their fault. The system had some major holes in it, and Tony Mandarich exploited them all. So this is the story of the quote-unquote greatest offensive line prospect ever. Without further ado, y'all already know what time it is, man. Cue the Wayne. Illustrated as an offensive lineman and was deemed the best offensive line prospect ever, and he was also called the Incredible Bulk. I'm not gonna lie, that's trash, bro. As I'm sure most of you guys have never heard of this man, you probably know where this story is going, but let's take it back to the beginning. Tony was born and raised in Oakville, Canada, but when his older brother received a football scholarship to go to Kent State, a 12th grade Tony moved to Kent, Ohio as well. He ended up playing his senior season at Theodore Roosevelt High School, during which time a young defensive back coach took notice of Tony and recruited him to Michigan State. Who was this young defensive back coach? Well, it happened to be Nick Saban, a guy who would go on to become arguably the greatest college football coach of all time. Now, that's not greatly relevant to the story, but it is gonna come back up later in the video as I make a point. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Tony was a great success at Michigan State, where he won Lineman of the Year in 1987 and 1988. Dude was a physical marvel at 6'6", 330 pounds. But he was also the definition of a diva football player. It wasn't just reserved for wide receivers at this time. This dude was so full of himself that he once called out Mike Tyson to
It isn't surprising. People are getting lost to find themselves and discovering the
a boxing match, okay? He dressed like he was in a rock band. He had a dog named after Axl Rose. He was tatted, you know what I'm saying? He was true to it, you feel me? He also showed up to public appearances late and often drunk or hungover. He missed team meetings. He was just a terrible locker room guy, like just straight up. Now, if you feel like that should have raised some red flags, you're right, and it did raise some flags, but what would happen next made everybody forget about his faults. And once you hear this, you probably won't blame him. So Tony goes to the NFL Combine. He measures in at 6'6", 330 pounds with 11% body fat, okay? So he obviously looks the part. He looks more impressive than any NFL offensive lineman that existed. Okay, but that's just looks, but he does have the Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year, so we know he can play, but let's see how he actually tests. The man goes and hops on the bench press, 225 pounds, boom, 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 repping it out 39 times. That's more times than Aaron Donald. Then, and y'all really ain't gonna believe this, at 6'6", 330 pounds, he ran a 4.65 in the 40-yard dash as an offensive lineman, bro. I went and checked, and that's a better 40 time than about 10 skill position prospects in this year's combine. But that ain't even it though. He had a 30-inch vertical and a 10-3 standing long jump. Dude was explosive, he was big, he was strong, he looked the part, and he had the college accolades. So at this point, you understand how he could be drafted right there with the likes of the Aikmans and the Sanders again, and all of those cats. So when the draft kicked off with Barry Sanders and Prime Time and Derek Thomas still on the board, the Packers select Tony Mandarich, 2nd overall. What does Tony do? Of course, he immediately holds out for more bread. Here's a quote from Tony during that time. Bruh, I ain't like other players. I'm Tony Mandarich, goddammit. And they gotta understand that. If they don't like it, tough. That's just the way I am, and they're gonna have to learn to like it. You feel me? You know, more or less that's what he said. He ended up signing for about $4.5 million, and when he got there that first year, he primarily just played special teams. So, okay, all that hype just to play special teams. This was probably because he, one, didn't know the offense because he skipped all of training camp, and two, I'm pretty sure the Packers was trying to get this man just a little bit of humility, because the entire time he was there, he was said to have a terrible attitude, terrible work ethic, and as you can clearly see, his ego was out of control. Over his first couple seasons in the league, Tony's hype quickly dwindled down as he never actually produced on the field. But the hype wasn't the only thing that shrank down. Over the course of only a few seasons, Tony went from 330 pounds with 11% body fat to a modest 290. 40 pounds gone in 2 seasons. Now, obviously, if this is an overweight player we're talking about, maybe that's a good thing, but no, we're talking about an offensive lineman who needs to be big, who only was at 11% body fat, amazingly. A guy who already has a little bit of a known drinking issue and is suspected of much more, dropping 40 pounds in 2 seasons. That is, that's a problem. His power, gone. His speed, no longer there. Hell, even his hair started to go, okay? Now, the Packers tried to salvage something of Tony's career by moving him to guard, but that didn't do the trick, and in 1992, only 3 years after he got drafted amongst all Hall of Famers, Tony Mandarich was released by the Green Bay Packers. After his release, Tony retreated back to Michigan with his millions, where he sank into a haze of alcohol and drugs for a couple years. Fortunately, his family was able to get him out of that and get him into a rehab program where he was eventually able to get clean. So what happened to Tony during his first stint in the NFL? Was it all the drugs he had started taking? More like the drugs he had stopped taking. I'm sure a lot of y'all done figured it out by now, but Tony was on the roids, man. He was on the roids hard. He took them all through college where the testing was super lax. And because of weak testing, dude was never caught. Tony was taking a concoction of several steroids used in racehorses. The roids created kind of the perfect lineman, as dude was obviously strong as hell and super athletic, but one of the top qualities you hear about offensive linemen is nastiness. And what person is nastier than a 300+ pound man on steroids? One time during the coin toss of the Rose Bowl, Tony actually punched the captain of the other team in the chest as hard as he could, then looked the man in the face and told him that he was gonna die today. Dude decided that getting a sack wasn't worth it, and of course, Tony dominated for the entire game. Amazingly, during his time at Michigan State, he was tested about a total of 5 times, and Tony admitted to cheating all the tests. He constantly figured out ways to get around them, and he never tested positive once. The roids allowed him to gain his ridiculous physique.
Peacock's got the new season of Yellowstone. With old scars,
I won't betray you.
new threats,
Allowed him to dominate competition, and they greatly boosted his performance at the combine, allowing him to put up one of the best NFL combine workouts ever. Tony knew exactly what he was doing all along. He was creating a spectacle and making sure he was going to go to the NFL and get paid. However, he didn't think so far as to what he was going to do once he actually got there, as the NFL's drug testing is way more strict. So once he got into the league, he was scared to continue taking because he didn't want to get a positive test. So he backed off the steroids and lost his aggression, his edge, and 40 pounds of muscle. That, along with losing your hair and even his behavior during those years, all pointed directly to steroid use, but Tony Wood actually admitted fully years later. Unbelievable the way time has gone by. I'm sorry, Rick. The phrase "I was wrong" was not in my vocabulary back then, but I was wrong. I conned you, lied to you about using steroids. I was a jackass. I don't want to be like that anymore. He also described his thinking at the time. I wanted to create as much hype as I could for many different reasons: exposure, negotiation leverage, you name it. And it all worked. Except the performance wasn't there when it was time to play football. Again, extremely short-sighted, but he did get paid. So once Tony got off the juice, it wasn't long before he was out of the league. Tony completely gamed the system and made millions because of it. Later on, he would even write a book attempting to gain even more bread from the con. Now here's the thing, bro. I saw this story, and the craziest thing that stood out to me is that the man actually had NFL talent on his own. How do I know this? Well, after becoming sober and being out of the NFL for 5 years, okay? He got sober. He was out the league for 5 years, dog. The Indianapolis Colts signed this man to the roster. At this point, he's 31 years old and washed. He's been through drug addiction, steroid addiction, alcohol abuse, and again been out the league for a very long time. Despite all of that, in 1997, he started 16 games for an NFL team. Now granted, that Colts team wasn't very good, but the fact that after all of that, at the age of 31, he could go and start 16 games for an NFL team let me know that he had enough talent the first time around to have made it on his own. You have to give Tony credit and show him love for not only beating his addiction, but for fighting his way back into the league and having a pretty successful stint with the Colts. Not many people could handle the brutal media coverage endured and the ridicule from opposing players and fans. So you have to acknowledge the growth and the strength that it took to be able to deal with that from Tony's perspective. With that said, imagine if he would have just applied himself and actually worked hard instead of cheating and looking for a shortcut. The guy who would go on to become the greatest college coach of all time saw something in Tony Mandarich before the steroid use. The problem is, Tony never saw that thing in himself. He thought he had to pump himself up with HGH and steroids in order to be an NFL player. And while yes, he completely robbed the Packers of $4.5 million or however much they ended up paying him, and robbed him of a future Hall of Famer, he also robbed his damn self. He robbed himself of a long, fruitful career that he could have definitely had if he was still a starter at 31. Today, despite running a photography business, Tony struggles mentally with the decisions he made back then, as his reputation will forever be that of a liar and a cheater, as people don't even acknowledge the little run that he had with the Colts at 31 years old. The moral of the story is this: work to develop the talent that you have. Maximize your actual gifts. Have faith in them, bro. We all know how this movie eventually ends. So why not focus on the journey and the legacy that we actually leave behind? Do you want to be known as the buzz who was drafted amongst 5 Hall of Fame players? Or you want to get drafted in the 3rd round and have a 10-year career and probably make more bread than you ended up making in that 2 years you was with the Packers? If that had been the case, today we may remember Tony Mandarich in a completely different way. And hell, who knows, he may have gone on to become a Hall of Famer himself. It is possible. But instead, he'll
No, we can just play your servers, bro. We can play your servers, EU. That's good.
A guy. Or girl.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
The person.
Another person.
Cheetah Miles. Power level
I think I found someone to do it.
Okay.
Oh,
Is
and if
he
they
legit?
scam, I don't care really.
Awesome.
Hayden.
He is. Yeah.
If they scam, I don't really care, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's Cheetah
Well,
Miles?
how much is the payment? How much do you
Wait,
have to
what?
pay them? Well, me or you have to pay them for the carry?
I'm paying 800 traps.
Yeah, hello?
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
You wanna 1v1 me for your skin?
What's up, bro?
Lightning.
I hate that dance. I'm gonna change my skin.
Lightning.
Hey, I wanna play, hold on. Throws? Do y'all wanna play creative or some throw, damn, I can't say the fucking
Yes.
word. Yeah. So what y'all wanna play? Creative.
Lightning,
Okay.
you wanna 1v1 me for a skin?
Oh, no.
Yes? Yes? Okay, it's the NSSS guy. You knew him. He's the guy with that baby sound.
Yo, hello?
Anyway, so you wanna play duo scrim with me?
A duo scrim?
Yeah. For FNCS practice.
I was gonna do like, I just kind of want to play creative right now. I just like going to 1v1 someone. I'm so bored.
Did you get your account?
No, I'm just playing on this account for now.
What account is it?
It's that one that he gave me, the black. It has like a CCS season 3 on Twitch Prime. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Come on, Matthew.
Huh?
Do you want to go grave digging? With the grave digger next door? What?
What you said?
I didn't say anything.
Alright, join me.
Yo, Dizzy.
Yeah.
Put it on public. Booty.
What?
I got logged out.
On God?
Matthew!
What?
Screen share!
Alright. Oh crap, I'm not screen sharing. Wait, how? Alright. Screen, go live. Okay. What?
I got logged out.
Yeah,
I put it on God. I'm screen sharing right now. Stop yours. Stop yours.
Alright, hold on. Where? It's not showing anything.
Can you not see
Oh.
it?
No, yeah, I can. What? I can't even imagine someone who would do such a thing.
Who? You?
Yes, I wanted to see what you'd say.
How'd you do it?
Huh?
How'd you do it? Did you changed the info, didn't you?
No, he just
Yeah.
he just logged in and it logged you out.
No, he changed the freaking info. I hate you, Matthew. Freaking
Here,
went on the browser and changed it. That's why you were quiet.
Yeah. Here, I'll send it to you. Wait, hold on. Here, end the stream.
I hate you. I did.
Here. Alright, I'm just gonna send it to you in private.
That's what I was about to tell you, Brody.
I was about to be like,
'Cause I might take
what?
your
No
account.
way.
Never know. You're like, no way.
God, I freaking hate you, Matthew.
That's my pass.
Alright. I'm gonna put it in.
Oh.
I'm about to freaking take your Gmail too.
What?
I'm about to freaking take the Gmail too, you freaking retard.
You can't.
Why? You changed the password to that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All my passwords are different. My Gmail, you wouldn't even know my Gmail password. And for one.
I'm in, guys! Woohoo!
Good.
Freaking hate you, dude.
And I have two-step on my Gmails.
Why'd you have to log me out?
Who's gonna join me? The scrim
You
is
can't-
posted. Colin, hurry up and
What?
get on. The scrim is
What?
posted.
I'm not doing a scrim.
Come on.
I'll do it.
Alright, but
No!
I know, I was
Seriously,
kidding.
Matthew? Wow.
I was kidding.
Wow, dude. Man's just gonna ditch me. Freaking grave digger.
Did you say grave?
Nah, yeah, I said grave digger.
Oh, I thought you said the M word after.
So I just kind of like roast people with that, like grave. It didn't,
I know, dude.
digger.
Dude, I love saying the M word. This is so nice.
Dude, shut up.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay.
Yeah, I
Hey,
actually feel
Dizzy,
bad.
Dizzy, I was just kidding.
We need to stop talking about that. Like that's not right.
right.
Actually, because like back then,
I
like
get Club Cracker every day, so I mean, it's...
back then, like people actually, like it's not as bad this day of like people saying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh
But,
my
like,
God,
back,
yes.
But back then,
People-
like
people
back
take
then,
it
like,
so
but
seriously for
back then
no
with
reason.
like Jackie Robinson and them, like it's like black people couldn't even be like alive, like because they would just get like harassed so much.
They would get obliterated.
I know. Like Jackie Robinson, I saw a story about him. Like he would always get called.
Hey,
the
hey,
N-word.
hey, hey, Dizzy, Dizzy. Dizzy.
What?
I think the sketchy website.
Go on to,
Stole all my info.
Go on to...
You looked on the
I
right
can't...
side?
Alright. Dizzy, go on to YouTube.
That's my
Is Dizzy on... Are you on YouTube?
Discover something
Yeah.
brighter.
Hey Dizzy, I'll trade you accounts.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. What?
Are just
Type in CICIL
Okay.
Sonic extra long ultimate cheese
Hotel
Yeah.
HOTEL 2013.
Wait, it's like a little.
That's it. What pops up?
Cecil Hotel, February 19th.
Is it
2013.
Like white around and like
No,
black.
no. Is there one that has like a lady in inside of an elevator for the
Yeah.
picture? Yeah, click that.
Why?
What's the title?
A surveillance video of Elisa Lamb.
Yeah. Colton watched it
Watch
yesterday.
Watch it.
It's so creepy. That's one of the most haunted places in the world.
Watch it. It's fucking creepy, dude. Even the Ghostbuster, like people. I mean, not the Ghostbuster, but even like the Ghost Hunters went there, because like the Ghost Hunter people on the TV show that like do ghost hunting, they even went there.
Yeah.
There was a guy who was writing like Jewish like. There was a guy who was like writing Jewish symbols on his hand, and then he was like saying that he was like in people's like head, and like he was like his spirit was with them and stuff. I watched an ad about it. Like I didn't believe it at first, but then I was seeing ads about it
I got 2 splashes.
from like news shows and all that.
Are you watching it?
It doesn't do anything like startling, like a jump scare or anything, but
Are you
but,
watching
like,
it?
There's a certain part that's really creepy.
Yeah, one of the parts was super creepy.
Come on, Matt, do you want to be one box fight me?
On keyboard?
Yeah.
You want?
I'm on controller. I'm on controller.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I bet. I'm gonna be one of them. You got the clicks map?
I don't-
Imagine having Reaper. Like what? No, Dizzy.
Yeah.
What part are you on?
Where she's like hiding like to the left of the door. Now she,
Like in the corner?
Then she went back in the elevator.
You can't really tell the parts. It's like all like it just keeps happening repeatedly. Matthew, you can't really tell parts. All right, levers.
No, I mean like what part are you on?
How'd you start it? Are you stupid? Oh.
Wait, what part are you on, Dizzy?
What do you mean?
Like, are you on the part where she's like doing weird symbols, or?
Yeah.
the minis over?
Is that not creepy to you?
I'll just carry 2 stacks. Drop like 12.
That's the most haunted place in the world. You know where she went missing?
That's actually good.
And you know where they found her?
Where?
You just splash up whole minis.
Inside of a water tank on top of the hotel.
I have 6 minis now.
Damn, bro, what?
Huh?
Oh my God, controller aim assist is OP.
Pressing is hella.
Oh my God.
I'm not good
Controller
on
aim
keyboard.
assist is OP. I'm not good on controller either.
If I got on controller, you'd be
I
smoked.
like how both our names are like Black Mama and Booty.
I read that
I
name.
kind of like this account. I can't lie. I kind of like this. Again.
Yeah, I can tell you're not a controller.
Oh God.
Yeah, I
Please
already know
control
that.
Kyle!
Alright, let me start
Oh
up
my
a stream and do that.
God.
Start up a stream.
Alright. And show you that I'm on controller?
Yep.
Alright, hold on.
Yeah, switch over to controller.
No, I'm starting it up.
Taking an awful while, huh?
Alright, I started it.
No, you didn't. Alright, let me look. You didn't start it.
trash can. Yeah, you went on controller.
I'm not on controller, dude.
The date is 1945.
It takes a lot
and the
longer
war in
than
the
that to
Pacific
open up
is
an
not
input
going
mapper.
well for Japan. What started out as a campaign of blistering successes that saw the Japanese Empire spread across Southeast Asia
Yeah,
has turned into a fight
I'm not
for its
on
life
controller.
in the
I
United
put it on my
States.
life.
The
On
words of
God,
Admiral
cross account.
Isoroku Yamamoto just after
I
the raid on
can?
Pearl Harbor now
I don't
ring
got
in
no cross
every
account.
Japanese
I'm not even
commander's
on my
ears.
settings.
I fear all we have done is awaken
Here, let me
a
switch
sleeping
my mouse
giant
setting.
and fill him with
Oh,
a
yeah,
terrible
yeah.
resolve. Pushed
No,
back
I have-
across the
Alright,
Pacific
so
and every
16 and
front,
13.
the situation only
Save.
worsens for Japan, as they now also face
Okay.
growing Russian forces on the eastern borders of their collapsing
these might be a
empire.
little too
Each
slow.
Russian soldier eager for revenge after suffering humiliating defeats in the decades prior to World War II. Yet the Japanese Bushido Code is clear. There can be no surrender, even in the
stupid. You're
face
on
of certain
keyboard.
I'm not.
But of
I know I'm
all
on
the
keyboard. I
soldiers in
put
the
it on
Japanese
God.
Army, few would embody the Bushido Code more than Hiro Onoda, who would continue waging
God,
World
your
War
edits are
II
good.
for 30 years after its end. Born on March 19th, 1922,
Yeah, you're
Onoda
on
joined the
keyboard.
Japanese Imperial
No,
Army
I'm not.
when he was
Yes, you
18
are.
years old.
I put it
Onoda
on my
was
life.
one of a
No,
long
I
line
can
of warriors,
practice on
able to trace
Elstick.
his family's fighting ancestry all the way back to samurai
On God, on God.
ancestors that took part in the frequent wars that plagued
Screen share.
Japan's feudal history.
I said on
His own
God.
father had
Screen
served
share.
in the
I don't believe
Japanese
you.
cavalry and died in the Second
across my
Sino-Japanese War, showing an aptitude for outside-the-box thinking.
I
Onoda
can
was
tell you're on
soon
keyboard.
trained
I
as
can
an
tell when you play
intelligence
this.
officer in an elite
Like,
commando
you're
school,
literally on
the
keyboard.
precursor to modern
And
special
you
forces
lost him, man.
training. The Nakano School trained troops specialized in jungle and guerrilla warfare, sabotage,
Dare to get my box with that
counterintelligence,
stair
and
thing.
propaganda skills
Nope.
that would
Yep,
come
you
in
proved you're
great
on
use for
keyboard.
Onoda
Thank
in the
you.
years to come. In
No, I can do
1942,
it with the
Japan had
controller,
seized the
No, you
Philippines
can't.
and overthrown the
How do
Filipino
you know?
government, forcing
Get
the
in.
surrender of their U.S. allies.
Oh, shoot.
Just 2 years later, though, Japanese forces were
trash.
spread thin around the South Pacific, and America, in
Yeah!
full of terrible resolve, had pushed Japan
Do it, I
back
dare
on
you.
every front. Now they threatened the Philippines
Do it.
themselves, an important
Do it.
strategic position in the war. With its proximity to the South Pacific sea trade lanes, control of the Philippines would allow the U.S. to threaten Japan's oil supplies, and if that happened, then the rest of the Japanese fleet had only months of supplies to fight with. The Philippines must be held at all costs, and so a
I could
bloody
beat Andrew in a
resistance of the
1v1.
American
Colton, I
invasion
guarantee you
began
I beat
by
Andrew in a
winter of
1v1.
1944, though most of the Japanese
On
were
keyboard?
forced off
Yes.
the major
Tell 'em to get
islands
on.
and to the smaller islands that ring the
wanna play with that
archipelago.
kid.
On December 26,
Dude, I could destroy
1944,
him.
Onoda was
Well, I'm on
dispatched to
keyboard and
Lupang
mouse and I don't
Island
even play
and
keyboard.
instructed to engage in a guerrilla warfare campaign against invading U.S. troops. Conventional Japanese military
About to say,
protocol,
you walk
however,
into my
demanded
freaking
that
PC
Japanese
controller,
troops face the invaders head-on, rather than retreat
Oh my
and
God.
fight in an
Your game's
unconventional
good.
war from the shadowy
Not
jungles
really.
the way
I had
Onoda
to
had
switch
been
my
trained
senses.
in
That's
order
why
to
it got a
do.
little bit better.
Upon
I
arriving
had to
at the
lower
island,
him because
I'm on
Onoda's superior
I never
officers
switched my
refused
settings.
his
Oh my God,
previous
thank God I have
orders
every
and
wall. I
prevented
just
him from
enough for
carrying
every
out
wall.
his objectives, which was to abandon several fortified defensive positions and flee to the jungles before launching a series of surprise attacks against a nearby airfield and pier. Hopelessly outnumbered and overpowered, the Japanese defensive garrison was utterly defeated when American forces landed on February 28, 1945.
Yes, come on.
Seeing that defeat was
Oh,
imminent,
I
Onoda,
flicked the
who was
crap.
under strict orders not to surrender
Did you see
or
that?
take his
I
own
didn't
life
know
if
you were on
defeated,
keyboard.
ordered
When
3
did
other
you-
soldiers, Private
No, you're on
Yuichi
controller,
Akatsu,
because you always
Corporal
flick on
Shoei
No, I
Shimada,
swear to God,
and
that
Private
isn't.
First
I
Class
didn't even
Kenshiki
see you.
Kozuka to follow
On
him
God,
into
no
the
cross
jungle
count.
and begin a resistance against the American invaders.
probably
U.S.
doesn't
forces
frickin'
quickly left
I
the
just got
island
on.
after eliminating the Japanese garrison, though, and Onoda began to engage in guerrilla raids
Come on.
against local Filipino troops.
Oh, what are you
Noticing a
doing?
lull
You
in the
just walked
fighting,
into
though,
my-
around October of 1945, and with no way of contacting any other Japanese unit to learn of Japan's surrender, Onoda assumed that the main course of the war had shifted somewhere else, but continued his guerrilla campaign regardless. Onoda and his men laid ambushes for local farmers and engaged in shootouts with police forces in the area, and the U.S., realizing that there was an active Japanese resistance still on the island by troops who had no idea the war was over, began to drop leaflets informing the soldiers of Japan's
Yeah,
surrender.
healing,
Onoda eventually
and I'm not
stumbled across
on
one of these
controller.
leaflets, but immediately
yeah,
assumed
just
it
'cause
was
I heal, I don't
propaganda
wanna
meant
lose
to
the
lure
freaking
him
kid
and
who's
his
on
men out so they could be captured.
I'm not on
His
controller.
training and propaganda
I'm on freaking
techniques
keyboard.
only made Onoda more suspicious of
I'm
the
on
leaflets.
controller.
And in
I
his
hope you don't feel
mind,
good about
he was
Dude,
but
you're
one
not
of
on
several
controller.
Japanese
I put it on
units
my
still
life, you're
fighting
not on
behind enemy
controller.
lines.
I can
Surely
tell
Japan had
by
been
how you
pushed
play.
back,
You play
but
the same way you
defeated?
always do.
Impossible. Toward the end of the year, though,
I
more
was
leaflets
stupid.
were dropped in the jungles of the Philippines, and this time, official surrender order signed by General Tomoyuki Yamashita
I wouldn't
of the
hit
14th
See, that's
Army.
important.
Onoda
I was
carefully
running in
scrutinized the orders,
circles.
but
I
once
know,
more
I
his
can't hit
propaganda
my
training
phone.
kicked in, and he surmised that these were fake too. More so,
Actually, we
however,
have
the
a win
idea
right
that the
now,
entire
honestly.
Japanese army had surrendered seemed
Freaking
ludicrous
2
to Onoda
wins,
and his
and they're
men,
because I was
who
just
firmly
rushing.
believed that Japan would fight until the very
And you
last
hit
man,
lucky shots.
just as they were now doing. For 4 more years, the team of guerrillas continued their war against the people of the Philippines, raiding farms for supplies and attacking police forces and
Gotta
farmers.
use that
The
aim.
men sabotaged fishing boats and generally engaged in as
Oh,
much
aim
destructive
assist,
activity as
yeah.
I
they
was
were capable.
kidding.
Trained to live off the land,
I
Onoda
could
and
show
his
you
men
proof.
gathered what fruits they could and stole rice, grain, and other foodstuffs from their raids on local farmers, and continued their
You can't
war
do the-
with a
you
stash
can't
of
do the stair.
ammunition and grenades
I wasn't trying
that could
to.
see 4 men fight
Imagine
for
not
years
having a
to
good
come.
account.
In
Don't log me
1949,
out.
however,
Please don't
Private
log me out.
Akatsu came to the
not
realization
having a good
that
account.
the war was over and
kidding.
left the unit to live by
kidding.
himself in the jungle for 6 months before
kidding,
surrendering to the Philippine
Wow.
Army on March of 1950.
Kidding. You-
Akatsu
all your
let
accounts were
US
better
and
than mine.
Filipino authorities know of the other men still fighting in the jungle, and the U.S.
Hey,
underwent a
I'm fixing
campaign to
something.
track down family members of the other
Say
3
that.
holdouts.
Oh my
They
God!
issued family photos and letters
I'm
from relatives,
insane. I just
all
got
urging
good
the
all of a
soldiers
sudden.
to surrender, airdropping the messages
God,
across
can you
Lubang
stop?
Island in 1952.
Yeah, all good all of a sudden.
Unfortunately,
You're
upon
on freaking
discovering the
controller.
letters
I swear to
and
God, I'm
photos,
not on controller.
Onoda
I'm
gonna
assumed
start
that the
trying.
Japanese homeland had fallen, and their loved ones were now living under American occupation, and thus forced to write those letters.
Just try to
This
heal.
belief only filled Onoda and his men with greater resolve to continue resisting. 2 years later, though, Corporal
okay.
Shimada was shot and killed by a Filipino search party
Better
that was
quit
looking for
being
the men,
chicken.
intending to arrest them and bring them to trial for the murders they had committed. For another 18
Okay,
years,
buddy.
Onoda would continue his war alongside Private First Class Kenshichi
dog
Kozuka,
water.
clashing with police forces and
I can-
farmers until in 1972,
Just think, if I can beat you on
Kozuka
keyboard like
would be
this, I
killed
can
by police
destroy you
while
on
raiding a
controller.
local village. Onoda was now all alone, and still, he refused to surrender. In 1974, Japanese adventurer Norio Suzuki embarked on a trip around the world. Lieutenant Onoda had become something of
Watch
a
this.
celebrity in Japan at this point, who had become entranced by the soldiers' refusal to surrender. As the highlights of Suzuki's trip, he
I'm going
declared
for
that
clips,
he
I
wanted
hope
to
you know
see
that.
Lieutenant
you're
Onoda,
not getting
a
very good
panda,
ones, son.
and the abominable snowman, in that very order.
Here's the thing,
In
don't
February
control her,
of
I'll
that
still
same
beat
year,
you.
Suzuki landed in Lubang Island.
If I
and
can
managed
destroy
to
you like
track
this
down
on
Onoda,
keyboard-
proving him
You're
by
destroying
saying,
me!
Onoda,
I'm
the
destroying
Emperor
you.
and the people of Japan are worried
I'm
about
destroying you.
Suzuki informed
I
the
don't
old
play
soldier
keyboard.
that the war had been
You're
over
not-
for decades.
you're not messing
Yet Onoda still
around.
said that he would not surrender until relieved of duty by a superior officer.
My
The
God, you
Japanese
actually want me
government
to
quickly
try?
tracked down Onoda's
Yeah.
surviving commanding officer, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, and flew him to Lubang. On March 9th, 1974, and
How you say
52
different, my
years
guy?
old, Onoda emerged from the jungle, still dressed in his service uniform and carrying his rifle and service
You just
sword,
hit lucky
accepting
shots.
the order from his commanding officer to at last surrender. Later, he would surrender
on!
his sword to the president
Bro,
of the
what are
Philippines,
you
who granted Onoda a pardon for his many crimes.
You're just hitting
Upon
hard
returning
shots
to
and
Japan,
getting lucky.
Onoda was hailed as a hero. Yet Onoda was deeply troubled by the Japan he returned to. He did not believe that
You want
Japan
me
should
to
have
actually
apologized
try?
for the war in Asia,
I don't care,
and he
go
was
ahead.
utterly
Alright, fine.
dismayed to discover that the military
Alright,
had been
fine.
dissolved by the Allies. Uncomfortable
beat
with
me
the
on my
new
own account,
liberal
then I'm
Japan,
not.
who wanted to distance itself from its warlike past, Onoda became involved with right-wing politics, calling for
Gotta love my
Japan to
man.
return to its former military might and become a world power again. Luckily, nobody paid much attention to Onoda, and unable to accept
What's
a
your
peaceful
name?
liberal Japan not
Awesome.
under the thumb of military, Onoda eventually moved to Brazil in 1975, where he would spend most of his life. Onoda's 30-year war was an incredible, if foolhardy, act of dedication. While initially
I was trying
praised
to
as a
heal.
national hero and a soldier
What?
by the Japanese people and admirers around the world, Onoda's return and troubling penchant for authoritarianism quickly saw him fall out of favor with a population thoroughly sick of war. In the end, Onoda was a relic of the past who couldn't accept the change that had gripped the world after the horrors of World War II, change which valued international cooperation over empire building.
I'm just
Think
going
you
for
could have
clips.
lasted in the jungle for 30 years alongside
have to warm
Onoda?
up
If you
the ring a
enjoyed this
little bit.
video, make sure you watch our other video, the insanely crazy story of a tiny soldier. Also, don't forget to like,
my
share,
God,
and
you're on
subscribe.
controller.
See you next
I'm
time.
not on controller.
Farms
You
for
are
supplies
on
and
controller,
attacking
screen
police
share.
forces.
I can't Mongrel Classic and well, yeah, I can, but I can't do all that.
They're on it.
If I still beat you, you're not on controller.
No, I'm not on controller. Told you.
Dude, you're trash. I just clapped you and you're on controller. I know.
I'm not on controller.
Treasure.
My God. Okay, I will. Let me start it up.
Oh yeah, just put your little keyboard and mouse on.
Nope. Right here. Ready?
Yeah, because oh my god. Fine.
What?
You just literally, it's so easy to switch to keyboard.
Look.
Like it's so easy just, oh, okay, yeah, you're on control. I mean keyboard. Why'd you get so good on freaking?
Huh?
How'd you get so good?
What do you mean?
Like on keyboard.
I'm not even good.
I mean, you're not good, but why, you got better.
I don't know. I just been doing edit courses.
I don't want to call you bad, but you're not.
I 1v1 people every day.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi, we'll give you your stuff, or he will gift you later, but we're trying to stream right now, so can you, like, maybe leave?
Can I play?
Wait. Sorry. We're trying
No,
to
you can't leave.
Did I stutter?
Bro, shut up. I have a higher power level than all you guys combined.
Who asked?
Me.
Can you do math? Can you do math? No, you're not, actually.
Oh, I'm not. My bad. I can't count. My bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will gift you, but we're just trying to do a giveaway, so... Alright, yeah. Have fun. Well, I'll give you guns. You need guns? Or
Yeah, for a drop-off.
For the giveaway?
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Just learn your stump shit.
I'm going to
Walmart because my cat has no food, so I'm going to Walmart and I'm going to pay my mom to get a gift card. I'll give you guys some stuff.
You know the drill. We're ready to expand again. When you're ready to start the fight, select Expand Shield from the Storm Shield console.
Yep.
Oh, what? I can carry so much stuff. But too, don't take all of it. I need some.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way, when are you going to Walmart?
Probably. What time is it for you?
At 12:30.
Oh, it's 1:30 for me. Probably by. If you're 1 hour and 30 minutes behind.
Just say your time. Say your time.
Okay, my time probably around. I'm leaving at 4. And
so your time. 3.
3
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Do you have any break bar I can get?
No, I don't have any break bar. Well, I have one on my other account, but not like right now.
Okay.
Well, you can kick me. So.
Okay. Thanks for joining and helping.
Cover.
Guys, look at my hands.
Miles, go somewhere else.
No.
Yes. Go somewhere else. Why are we on Valen? Go to everything. And, Mason.
He's not even
Mason's
on, dummy.
Mason is.
I don't want to play with racist Mason. Yo, hello? Yo, what's up, Chris?
Marvin.
I said, what's up? What missions are you doing, Ventures? Are you doing Ventures?
No.
So, why would they hide it inside the store like that? You would be afraid to get robbed. So this was the best place to actually hide your money. In that sense. Gotcha. A little holder like this could hold up to $10,000 worth of coins. Okay, well, too bad we didn't get that lucky, right? But because of the rarity of this makes this set very highly collectible. Okay. How collectible? Well, I mean, in excellent condition like this, especially with the addition of the hidden coin pocket, now you're talking something very, very rare and special. It's a hidden coin.
Hello. Yo, Dizzy.
Yeah.
I'm on my Honor Guard account now.
Nice.
You wanna see it?
Sure.
Huh?
I said sure.
Alright, here. Oh, Colton, what happened?
Yo.
Yeah.
Matthew,
Yeah.
why are you so quiet? What the heck? I think my phone needs to like be turned up. Hold on.
Hello? Hello?
Power.
Well, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head of what it was worth. That being said, I've got to make some money. I'd like to give you 4. Could you come up a little bit more than 4? Can you go down from 8? 6.5. Tell you what, I'll do 5. 5 seems fair. All right, yeah. Let's make. Give me over there. Let's just paperwork out. I am thrilled to make a deal today for $5,000. It wasn't quite the $8,000 I was asking for, but I will certainly be able to take my family on a nice week. $1,000. It's a hidden coin in MacArthur ordered.
Run away, you're gonna die. Just run away.
Oh, yeah, you a clown, bro. No, it's all right. I could hook you up, you know what I'm saying? It's just a donut, bro. Yeah, bro, I got you, man. You know what I'm saying? I got you, bro. Pull up. Oh, yeah, you decline, bro. Yeah, you decline. Yeah, I mean, you gonna have to either, you know what I'm saying, get off the line if you can't pay for your food. You know what I'm saying? You decline over a $1 donut, bro. Yeah, you decline. $1 donut. Yeah. Get the fuck out. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you decline, bro. No, it's alright. I could hook you up, you know what I'm saying? It's just a donut, bro. Yeah, bro, I got you, man. You know what I'm saying? I got you, bro. Pull up. Oh.
Today I was doing Soul Squad, and then I saw the name Chibi Wash. A lot of you guys were saying that's my friend, and then he's cracked. So I was pretty nervous about it. Not gonna lie, I was nervous. I was ready. I cleared the whole lobby for him. I was like ready to snipe him, but no. He wanted to do a trick shot, and I was like, say less, Poppy. Like, I don't want to be clipped by you. Like, the amount of disrespect I went through that he clipped me like that, I don't want to go through it. You don't want it. Nobody wants it. I really wanted to snipe him, but I was really mesmerized. Anyways, his shots were so close. Like, shoot me, Daddy.
What? You fuckers.
At this point, I'm just like, how many masks do you have? Like, hello? Hello, sir?
You motherfucker.
Today I was doing so.
Fuck you talking about? We don't swing that way over here. You already know. Ooh. Oh. fuck you talking about? We don't swing that way over here. You alright, Ray?
Alright, look. You need Reno. Stop saying GG's. I know you might think it's not toxic. That is toxic. That's how they be. Hey, GG slime dude. GG's, bro. Hey, slime dude. Slime dude. I just killed you, bro. GG's, bro. Slime.